called me. You called me because you said Tam messaged your sister and told your sister you're on drugs. And
no, where's the proof that I called you about this? Normally, don't you?
I could go through our messenger chat, but I'd have to scroll back.
Don't you normally record phone calls and stuff, Tiffany?
No, I wish I would have recorded that one though, because it was weird as fuck, man. But I'm just saying, like, you were in the bush. You somewhat admitted to the bush. You kind of admitted to it. You said you were getting firewood. That's not what was going on because you had to whisper.
I had to whisper.
You said you heard your family.
Loony, man. You are a loony.
So, have you not? Okay, here's my point, Lahni. Here's my point. Have you not told people that
and fucking getting firewood for a bushfire or a bonfire is a lot different than hiding in a fucking bush?
You never said anything about it. Breaking bushes up for bonfires.
I showed you dumb fuck. I showed you. I took a fucking screenshot and showed you that I was sitting around a fucking bonfire.
You sent me a picture of the bonfire in the bush?
Yeah, I remember because you were talking and you were fucking upset about fucking the Scotty situation when you had a fallout with Scotty.
I just need to know if this bush was nicely trimmed.
Did
it have berries?
Was it a pokey bush?
Was it pokey? Was it trimmed? Was it smooth? Was it maintained?
Were there logs involved?
It had gum nuts because it was a gum tree. So yeah.
Now you're saying you were in a tree? Listen, I very specifically remember because it gave me a massive anxiety attack. You being in a bush and you whispering, and because you blamed it on Tam and you said she called your sister and they wanted to drug test you and you didn't know how to react and you were fucking freaking out and you were in a bush.
This happened way before.
Why would I make that? Why would I make that shit up?
Because you're fucking mental. You are fucking
mental. But I'm really not. Like, why would I just decide to tonight also make up a story about you hiding in the bush? You were in the bush.
Trying to make me seem like I'm a fucking...
She was in the bush, y'all. Okay, so let's refer back to exhibits A and B. So here's exhibit A, where she says, she asked me if I know T. Lee and Irvin. Then she says her family's going to deal with them and that something had gone on. And then she says, I'm going to call you. Let me go outside. Well, she did proceed outside. Now, mind you, as we've shown here on exhibit B, that the time of day when this was all going down in Aussie time was around anywhere from 1 to 2 p.m. her time. Okay. She never mentioned, okay. Oh, another thing I want to point out. Now you notice, because I hung up on her during this call because I was legit having anxiety. Like I didn't even know what to do. It was so weird. I could hear her family yelling her name in the background as she was hiding. And like, I kept telling her just to go, just be, talk to them. Like hiding in the backyard behind a bush isn't going to help the scenario, whatever it was, right? Like, I don't know. To me, when you try to confront somebody about something and their response is to run away and hide in shrubbery, it seems guilty, right? And she wasn't getting this, and it was very weird. So I hung up because I kept telling her I have to go. I didn't say it was because Jeff was coming home, because if you notice, it was almost 11 p.m. my time. I just said I have to get to bed, right? And she wasn't respecting my expressed personal boundary, and she kept talking over me. Shocker. And so I just hung up. Okay. Now you notice I never made contact with her again because it was 2 days later. She messages me and she says, "Are you all right? Are you doing okay, hon? I can't see." And that was 2 days after the fact. You also notice there's no pictures of bushes or bonfires or nothing of the sort. So with that said, it would have been 2:30 p.m. Nobody is having an afternoon bonfire. Exactly. I think it was even a weekday. I mean, we could figure this out. Let's see. I can't see the date, but maybe some of you have eyes that aren't grandma eyes, and it was July 27th or 26th, 2023. That could have been a weekday. I can't remember, but I do remember that phone call very clearly because it was the weirdest phone call I've ever had in my entire existence in 44 years on this planet. Never have I had somebody call me from Australia hiding in a bush from their family. You don't forget shit like that. And yes, I was high as fuck the night I told this story. I ate an edible and it was a little bit stronger than what I had thought it was going to be. That's okay though. It didn't make the story not true. So since I have outed the bush story, tell Wendy, Julie A would like you to unblock her, Wendy V. It was a Wednesday. Thank you, Mander. So this was this was a Wednesday. This was a Wednesday afternoon, 2:30 p.m. Come on. Y'all. Put the crack pipe down, mate. Oh, come on, y'all. It was a Wednesday at 2:30. There was no birthday. And so Lahni, okay, let's say you were drinking. I don't know. I mean, sometimes I day drink. I'm not going to beat her up for that, but I don't think that's what was going on. Because my girlfriend, my friend, she doesn't like when I call her girlfriend. That's when I'm getting all spacey. When I'm spicy stoned, I start calling people girlfriend, right? Come on, girl. You were hiding in that bush. It was a Wednesday. I'm so sorry that embarrassed you, Lahni. But here's the problem with Lahni, okay? Lahni lies a lot. That sounds like the name of a porn. Lahni. Oh my God. But she does. Lahni lies a lot. She's oops, oh, dropped the phone. She lies quite a bit. She's not a truth teller. And she's been lying a lot about situations that have to do with her kids, as was proven yesterday with Sally Ann and such. And the problem with these sorts of lies is that they are reckless. I'm not going to call them dangerous because that's gay and dumb, but they're reckless. And they're reckless because when you have a person accused of going after children or exploiting them in some way, it comes with a lot of backlash. That's where this all went. Or the name of a funny children's book. Yes, that's much more wholesome. Yeah, it's a country song in the making, but when you lie about people going after your kids, and she's done this to a lot of people, y'all. She did it to Jessica. I remember that situation very clearly because it was even worse because it involved a tragic loss of a child, and she then roped me into that scenario, right? That is frowned upon very strongly by any moderately decent human being. You don't do that. But those things never happened is the problem, right? That those things that she's claiming took place never did. With Sally Ann, people are out here yelling, they shouldn't have shown that screenshot, yada, yada. Well, there was a purpose behind it. Okay. And the purpose behind it was because of the conversations publicly that had been happening leading up to that involved similar type of topics, similar type of exploiting personal details, et cetera, and lies, right? So, with every action, there's a reaction and yada, yada. We all know this. Okay. But the lies on top of lies on top of lies on top of lies on top of lies without any accountability or anything else winds up with, maybe you have an ex-friend who gets a little stoned one night and decides to tell a story about you hiding in the bush, right? Because it's a pattern of behavior. It's a pattern of behavior. GLM, I found a friend of mine in a bush one time, and it was not a pleasant experience. They were messed up and scared, and that's probably why I was having such bad panic attacks while I was talking to her, because it took me back to this very unpleasant real life experience I had with somebody once. And I don't know, man. I mean, look, here's the bottom line, Lahni, you owe a few people some apologies. You really do, girl. Scream, lie, lie again, then scream again, scream while lying, scream the lies. That's what she does. That is correct, Granny. That is absolutely what she does. Next time she's like, take a drink. Every time she says, shut the fuck up, you'll be shit-faced. That's right, Country Joe. Nice seeing you, by the way. That's right. I pushed a drunk friend into the bushes to laugh, 2:30 a.m. Yes, all these things often happen with bushes very, very early in the morning as well. Typically not 2:30 in the afternoon or 2 in the afternoon. I bet I could host a whole panel of bush stories. because she's not held accountable. And this is the thing. So everybody's on this kick about being, against talking about kids, but it's okay to talk about kids and parenting in some cases, and we're against this, but this is okay. Apparently the lesion has been now defunct. Your master little Velcro guy wants nothing to do with any of y'all because you're embarrassing him. You all have embarrassed him to the point of dismantling and dismembering the lesion. It is now defunct. What'd y'all do? The bush bandit. Yes.